What's going on, guys? In this video, I am going to share 6 ways that being a parent made me a better email marketer. Okay, so you've probably heard this. If you're not a parent, you've probably heard this from people you know who are parents, that having kids just completely changes your perspective on life. But a lot of times it's in ways that you didn't quite expect. So I've got 2 little girls, and I have noticed that just the way, of course, like everything in life is just different now, but the way I interact with the world, especially the way I interact with other parents, it's totally different, because you can tell we both understand that we're kind of in the same situation, and I just was kind of oblivious to it before. Like, I just did not realize how much it really changes. So for example, like how much your free time just totally disappears, and you just don't have free time. So before you have kids, you just think, for me, like, I was very busy, had, running businesses, had stuff going on. It's like, I just felt like, I never have any free time. Well, then I realized, oh no, I had all the free time in the world. When you have kids, you really have no free time. So when someone tells you that they're really busy and they're too busy to do this thing, and you know that they don't have kids, you just don't take them seriously when you're a parent. You just kind of look at them like, you just don't want it. You just don't want it that bad, right? And that's the type of thing where you just you don't realize how much it's going to affect your day to day. But I want to talk about how some of these lessons I've learned can make you a better email marketer, how they've made me a better email marketer. And this would be especially useful if your business sells to parents and you're not a parent, or if you work with parents, or if you just want to make sure that you are, because again, these things are going to apply regardless. All six things that I'm going to share here would apply no matter what. If you're doing email marketing for any type of business in any industry, they would apply. It's just that this different perspective is what really kind of solidified it for me. So let's just jump into it. So the first one, you got to get to the point. People are busy. I thought I was busy, like I said. I did not realize how busy all these other people out in the world who have kids, I was not one of them for so long. I had no idea how busy they really were and how limited their time really was. And if you have these long drawn out emails, they're just not going to get read, right? They're not going to get read by anyone who's busy. And then even beyond that, people just don't have a long enough attention span at this point. Never mind how much time they actually have. They just don't even have the attention span to read a long email. So lesson number 1, get to the point. You got to make your emails more concise going forward. Number 2 is leveraging the power of empathy. So having kids, one thing that completely changes, at least for me, is let's just say you're watching a movie and it could be even a commercial or something, and something bad happens to one of the kids, or one of the kids are in danger. As an adult before having kids, I would see that and think, what? I just didn't think anything of it. Just thought, whatever. That's the plot that they're going with, and didn't think anything of it. As a parent now, I get so sucked into it, thinking like, oh man, that would be so terrible. I take it so much more seriously. It's like, I just think that would be so much more terrible. And I actually get like, it hits my emotions, honestly. And what I found is that, man, when you're a parent, you start to take life a little bit more seriously. You start to feel emotions a little deeper. And whenever businesses use copy that is appealing to your emotions, I feel it more. And I've noticed that whenever I write, if I'm writing copy for an email or anything, and I really start to, if it's a type of business where it makes sense, where I'm kind of like romanticizing certain aspects of life, especially when it comes to relationships. So it could be, the relationships between parent and child, between spouses, between siblings, between friends, whatever. The more I start to like really dig into what does that actually mean, and how is that really affecting someone like on a soul level, the copy ends up being so much better, and it's just a way more interesting, way more thought-provoking email, and it tends to generate way more sales. And again, this could have just been me like not having as much empathy as a normal person maybe before, and then maybe now I'm just like up to a normal point. So I'm not sure what the issue is there, but that's lesson number 2. So number 3, you got to make your instructions crystal clear. This is especially true when you're dealing with online audiences. Sadly, the truth is that online shoppers are just dumb. So if you don't make it extremely clear that, like, let's just say you have a BOGO coupon, and you don't make it extremely clear they have to add 2 products to cart to get, and then they have to use the specific coupon code in order for it to work, they go in there like they have no clue what's going on, even though you might explicitly say it's buy one, get one free, use the code BOGO. And people are like, they get all confused until you have to have some fine print in there that's like, okay, you have to add both products to your cart, and you have to add the coupon code at checkout. Of course, one thing we do is we build the coupon codes into the link to save that step, because we know that so many people will screw that piece up, so we try to take that out. But so they still have to figure out getting both products in the cart, right? Which I know it sounds like I'm kind of being an asshole a little bit, but the truth is it's kind of frustrating how dumb online shoppers can be, and it really does cut down on customer service as the brand whenever you have very crystal clear, explicit instructions in your emails. So if they have steps that they have to take, be sure to spell it out, or else they will not. Don't ever assume that they will figure it out on their own, because they won't, and it will be costing you sales. Number 4, excitement leads the way. Okay, so when you're dealing with kids, one thing about kids is that they are constantly, there's just so much about life that is just new to them. So they're always like, it's hard to hold their attention, because they see something else that excites them, and they see something else that excites them, and they really want to run the day. They want to do what they want to do when they want to do it, and not what anyone else wants to do when they want to do it, right? So you have to always be leading the way with excitement, meaning that the things that you want them to do, even if it's normal stuff like getting dressed and sitting down to eat a meal and that kind of stuff, you have to make it seem more exciting than the other things, their toys or whatever else are exciting them at the time. And you have to constantly lead them, like, okay, you get them excited about this thing, and now about whatever it was you wanted to do there, then you get them excited to go get dressed, and you get them excited, so now we can brush teeth, right? And you have to lead with excitement and continue to get them interested in the next thing and the next thing. And if you don't continue that game, then they will take over, and they will start telling you what's most exciting, and they will start leading the way. And then it could end up getting into this huge fight, because now they don't want to do what you want them to do, and blah, blah, blah. So what does that mean for marketing? So especially with email marketing, is that if it's obvious you don't care, if there's no excitement, if there's no excitement in your own products and what you're selling, they're just not going to care. So the more you can show that you're genuinely excited about the products you have to sell, that you are proud of them, that you feel good about them, that you are excited about what that person is going to experience by buying your products, the more you can convey all that, the more that they're going to want to do business with you. Because for one, passion is contagious, and they just see that passion and they think, okay, I'd rather buy from a company that's passionate about what they do than a company that doesn't. But the other thing is that it just catches their attention, right? So like the business that's just more excited about their own products, and they are more excited about you buying their products, they're the ones that are going to stand out from the people who just aren't showing any level of enthusiasm at all. So as you're thinking through the steps that you want them to do, whether it's in your sales process, or whether it's buying a particular product, or maybe starting to create interest for a new product that you have in the works right now, you got to be thinking about how you can continue to use excitement to lead them down the path that you want them to go. Number 5, tailor your message. So the way you talk to a 2-year-old is going to be very different than the way you talk to a 4-year-old. If you use the communication style for one with the other, it's just not going to work. It's going to fall flat. What you're saying just might not even make sense to them. What you're saying may not be something that they want to receive. And the way you're saying it, again, either won't make sense contextually, or they're just not going to like it. So it's the same thing in email marketing. This is like one of the biggest things I preach all the time, and that is segmentation. Okay, you want to have the right message for the right audience. So if you don't use segmentation, then it means you have a bunch of people receiving your emails that are very different people. So they could be very different ages. This isn't really about age as much as more about you're going to have people who are just they have never bought from you before, and maybe they're not very knowledgeable of your products, and they're not as interested yet. And then you're going to, on the other end, you're going to have people who have bought multiple times, and they're very passionate about your product and your brand. They know everything about you guys. The message to one is not going to be the same one that works with the other, right? Because the person who doesn't know anything about you needs to learn a little bit more. And the person who's already like a VIP type of buyer, the more you try to remind them of that beginner stuff, the more they're thinking like, yeah, I already know this. And it's just boring, and it's not engaging. And it also feels like they don't recognize that you are a better customer. So you want to be talked to in a way as if you are a VIP. You want to be treated like you are a VIP. And if you are a lead, you don't want to be talked to in a way where there's a bunch of assumptions about things that you're supposed to know, but you don't already know because you didn't, dedicate a bunch of time to research this company and everything, because you're kind of thinking that you sign up to their email list, they're going to provide the information for you. So again, tailor your message to who you're talking to. Finally, the last thing, number 6, everything is sales. Everything is sales. So every type of email is sales. And that's how it is dealing with kids. It's like kind of like what I was saying earlier. If you're not selling them, they're selling you. And if you've ever negotiated with a toddler, then you know that they are naturally very strong negotiators and very good at getting their way and very good at imposing their sales strategy on you. So if you don't come up with a negotiation strategy that works in favor for both of you guys and is really getting towards what you actually want, then it's just going to be a nonstop battle. But once you learn how to sell to them in a way that they like to be sold to, everything goes much more smoothly. But that's the thing with kids, is that, you know, you're not thinking in a traditional sales mindset, but you're trying to sell them on the idea of doing what you want them to do. And it's the same thing with email marketing. Everything is sales. The emails that are strictly value are still sales emails, because you're delivering value in a way that's priming them to want to buy from you. Even the way you do customer service and the way your customer service emails are handled, everything should be done through the lens of selling, meaning that you're just trying to sell a great customer experience. You're not always trying to sell the transaction of purchasing a product. You're selling the customer experience that they want to receive and that you want your customers to receive when shopping with your brand. So that's it for this video. This is just more of a fun one, just, you know, to kind of like, again, take those subtle little lessons learned and apply them to something that we're already doing. And it's just funny. You can always learn lessons from one area of life that apply to another. And I think that that's one of the reasons why I've been successful with email marketing in general, is because I've always taken ideas or concepts from other industries that are completely different than the brands I'm working with, and just kind of, you know, put my own spin on them and modified them to do something that just hasn't really been seen before by those customers. And so anyways, now it's just getting to where I'm ranting. So that's it for this video, and I will see you in the next video.